What? Whoa!
The last transmission from
Whoa!
was from this area.
You guys saw that, right? Okay, we're gonna restart. So apparently if you save an exit during this level in the PC version, when you reload, it messes with... I'm guessing the camera coordinates are at like 0, 0 or something. It like doesn't save it properly. That's my best guess, just based off of like 10 seconds of the void. That's that's really funny looking. I've never seen that before, or at the very least I don't remember it at all. So yeah, 343 Guilty Spark. This is a... let's just say it's rather infamous, this level. Oh look, ammo that we can't use. 8 gauge, mag, 15p-008, or is that a B? That's a B. So yeah, there's ammo there, we can't pick it up though, so who knows what it is. Ooh, spooky. We got this Pelican here that has a radio that goes on for a surprisingly long time. Whoa. You can see jackals are not happy. I think that's because those jackals might have died? I don't know. Oh no, they saw me. Alright, there you go. You can see these guns going a little loco. Let's just pew pew across the void. The assault rifle is surprisingly... well, I mean, it's not that great, but... the assault rifle is definitely, like, probably, like, the worst gun in the game. But it's not, like... it doesn't feel like it's so outclassed that it's just... you can't use it, but it's definitely, like... a kind of gun where it's just like, okay, I used it at the start of the level, and I'm going to pick up this blast pistol because it's so much better. But, you know, still... I mean... wait, what did I say? I think what I said amounted to it sucks, but, you know, it's not that sucky, I guess. Which is more or less true. So yeah, 343 Guilty Spark, like I said, this is a pretty infamous level. And, I don't even know, like... I can't even imagine what goated... yeah, that's the right word. What goated Bungie to freaking come up with this level. It's like you walk around here, you see, oh look. Huh, what's that? Huh, what's over there? Huh, what's over there? You know? I don't know what to do in terms of information. I'm trying to like not be spoilery, but it's like I feel like I've already been super spoilery, so it's just kind of redundant. And there's a lot to talk about in regards to this level and the enemies that get introduced. Spoilers. But I guess I'll save it for try to be a bit more natural about it instead of just spewing out 20 gallons of exposition at the start here. So you walk over here. Ooh, random assault rifles. Kaboom. Some stuff dies. And yeah, there's that secret active camo power-up. That's pretty fun. I don't see a lot of people know that that's there. But it's not like it's all that useful. It mostly just lets you skip, like... well, I mean, those enemies don't even really fight you, so... I guess if you grab it and go really fast, it lets you skip, like, this group of enemies here. But I think I was a bit too slow. So probably not going to get much of a chance to really, do it. But I can at least make them freak out. Because that's always fun. And then he ran out like a dingus. Of course, if I do it like this, I get some camo going. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's plenty of grenades, so... oh, and then I had to shoot anyways. I just shot like it was no big deal. Whatever. Back into the doorway. Oh god! The guys from below are shooting me. I wasn't expecting that. Pew pew. Pew pew. Where's this guy? No, no, no. Yeah. God. Even though the whole like first half of this level is just jackals and grunts, they can be surprisingly tricky if you're not careful. Because there's actually, you can see the groups of them are actually quite huge. So they're, you know, not to be underestimated like you might expect. I mean, to be fair, I'm trying to be a little conservative about ammo though. And I mean, one or two good grenade tosses will take out pretty much any group. I mean, hey, this is a good chance to practice. If you're not good at it, it's a good chance to practice, like, using the plasma pistol. Because pretty much every enemy here is going to have a plasma pistol. So you can just kind of slowly go across like this. If you know what you're doing, you can actually jump across these. But it's actually not, I guess it's not that hard. Although, I always seem to screw it up. I always seem to jump because... If you don't know, this game has like a tiny bit of jump delay, so you don't jump right away when you press the jump button. So if you try to like jump the last second, you'll usually end up just falling off. And it's always just like, it makes you feel like an idiot, you know? I think this is the room that just has a bunch of jackals, so I would just do like a nice, good grenade toss. Kaboom! Take that, my guy. And yeah, gotta just like sit back and just like really appreciate how well crafted this level is. Like you got this thing here where it's just spewing out these tiny little spores that just splat against the ground. Like it's so cool looking. And then like you walk into this room and it's like, oh, well, the jackals are like, even when you walk into this room, like the jackals aren't looking at you. They all walk towards this door and just kind of stare at it. And then you walk in here and there's just like a ton of blood on the walls. And there's like these barricades where all the dudes inside are dead. And it's like, what happened, you know? Speaking of which, I want to see... I'm pretty sure you can get in here. It's kind of tricky, but it's like... I swear you can. Maybe not. I'm like not even making it like an inch. So I don't know. Oh well. Because like those guns in there are like full ammo. So, you know, it's nice. Oh, and look at this abomination. Do you see this right here? Do you see these things on the ground? It's needler ammo. Isn't that crazy? You've never seen needler ammo in any other level. And then all of a sudden there's just needler ammo on the ground here. And this is the only time you ever see this. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm pretty sure needler ammo is defined in every single Halo game. At the very least, I know it's defined in Halo 1 and 2. And I assume that since Halo 3 is pretty much just Halo 2.5, it's probably in that game too. But for some reason, it's just never there. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's weird. I forget where you go here. I believe you just go in this door though. I used to like have this level just like memorized like a T where I just, oh right, this guy that I walked in there and saw that guy and I actually forgot he existed there for a second. I had a mini heart attack. Hello, Mr. Crazy Marine. I'm gonna take a drink of Coke while we listen to him.
Play dead. That's what I did. Play dead. They took the live ones. Oh God, I can still hear them. Monsters. Ah! 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 Just leave me alone. Sarge, Mendoza, Vicente. Oh God, the things took them away. They're gone. Get it? Gone. They won't get me. Oh God. Oh God, I don't want to be like them. Please. Please no.
Alright, that's enough of that. Thanks for the ammo. Oh, here's some plasma pistols anyways. Whew, man, do they set up the atmosphere, like, God. Can you, even when I first, bought this, well, I didn't buy the game. Actually, first time I played this game was from my brother's copy. Can you imagine the thoughts of the people playing this game for the first time and just playing through the first half of the game and it's just like, oh yeah, it's just Covenant, you know. And then you go into this level and everything's just crazy. Everyone's like the Marine's losing his mind. It's like freaking out about stuff. Everything's going crazy. Ooh, med pack, thank you. And then it's just like right here, you walk up to this door and bam, shit hits the fan. You know what? This cutscene's so good, I'm not even gonna talk at all during it. I'm just gonna let it play.
Why do we always have to listen to this old stuff, Sarge?
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff
Huh?
is history. It should remind you grunts what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, if the Covenant want to wipe out this particular part of my
So
history,
I can't even begin to imagine why this is
Better it than
broken.
us.
Are you kidding me?
Real nice next time.
What the
you see
hell?
Vicente. I'm
Why
sure
did
they'll be
the-
happy to oblige.
LZ looks clear. I'm bringing us
Okay,
down.
so I guess this is a glitch. Yeah, no, I found a new glitch where the cutscene is
Go,
broken
go,
and I
go.
don't know why. And I can't even begin to imagine why it just broke. Tell me it's not gonna be like,
Stay close, Jenkins.
huh? I don't understand what's happening here. What? Okay, where are we in the level?
Mendoza,
We're seeing a
move it up.
bright light.
Wait here for the captain and his squad, then get your ass.
I think what it is that
Sir.
the cutscene is actually working properly,
Okay,
but for
let's
some
move.
reason it's like the UI is completely broken because you can see stuff moving. You can see it moving in the corners, but like the effect is broken.
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at
I don't know why it's happening. That sucks. That's like the best cutscene. You know what? I'll just overlay someone else's cutscene and then that'll do the job.
Why do we always have to listen to this old stuff, Sarge?
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. It should remind you grunts what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, if the Covenant want to wipe out this particular part of my history, that's fine by me.
Yeah, better it than us.
You ask them real nice next time you see him, Vicente. I'm sure they'll be happy to oblige.
LZ looks clear. I'm bringing us down.
Go, go, go! Stay close, Jenkins! Mendoza, move it up! Wait here for the captain and his squad, then get your ass inside.
Sir!
Okay, let's move!
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
What's that? Plasma scoring?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something?
What do we have, Sergeant?
Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Nah, we just met.
Right, well, let's get this door open.
I'll try, sir. But it looks like these Covenant worked pretty hard to lock it down.
Just do it, son.
Yes, sir. I got a bad feeling about this.
Boy, you always got a bad feeling about
Captain,
something.
Sarge, can you hear me?
What's going on, soldier?
We've got contacts, lots of them, but they're not Covenant. They're just tearing through us. What the? Oh, no!
Corporal, do you copy? Over. Mendoza, get your ass back up to second squad's position and find out what the hell is going on.
But-
I don't have time for your lip, soldier. I gave you an order.
Sarge! Listen!
What is that?
Where's that coming from,
Everywhere.
Mendoza?
I don't... There! Mira! Hold still! Hold still!
Let him have it.
Sergeant, we're surrounded.
God damn it, Jenkins! Fire your weapon!
There are too many,
Don't
Sarge!
even think about it, Marine.
Oh, this is local!
Get back here, Marine. That's an order.
Jenkins!
Or, you know, you can just watch it on your own time, whatever. I have no clue why that happened, but that breaks my heart. Like, I actually cannot be... Like, I'm at a loss for words. I've never... Two things that one thing that I've probably never seen, that I've definitely never seen that. Like, the camera, like, UI, like, break like that? That's so weird. Oh well. So yeah, flood. Yeah, it's spooky. I can't exactly... There's no great reveal now. I mean, if anyone's watching this game for the first time, you probably shouldn't do it through me. So, I mean, I guess that's fair, right? Other than that, I don't know. Ooh boy. So yeah, it's the flood. Bungie and their biblical references, hey? It's kind of funny to think how, like, every name of, like, pretty much every, like, all the, like, the main factions is, like, a biblical thing. Well, it kind of is and it kind of isn't. It's weird. It feels like Halo 1 is super biblical, and then the rest of the Halo games kind of, like, they're kind of, it's like all the old stuff is still there, but they don't really make all that many new references, which is what I was going to say until I realized that the main plot of Halo 3 is the Ark. So, shut up. It's like, not really in like the themes or anything, but like the names and stuff. Which makes sense because it's like, it's the Covenant, and then the Covenant's like super religious. I don't know. I actually have no clue. I'm sure there's someone who's done a lot more of like an in-depth look at these kind of things. And I'm sure Bungie themselves. But no. I don't know, like... Ooh, jeez. I wonder if that's grenade... Well, let's watch this grenade go. Kaboom! Man. Grunts make good for good distractions, huh? Hey! Don't throw a grenade! Anyways, I always wondered about that too. Like, did Bungie do that on purpose? Like, did they actually put a lot of thought into that? Or they just do it because it's like, why not? And with Bungie, it's always kind of like, you never really know. Because Bungie has so many weird little like jokes in their games. It's like you never really know. I love it when these guys jump to this kind of like they kind of clip to the floor, and that's definitely not supposed to happen, but it does do a pretty good job of looking kind of creepy. They just kind of like come out from the ground like sharks. You know what? I don't need to kill you. Oh, I do need to drop down though. Not that it matters. Flood Plasma Pistol isn't that great against the Flood, but at the end of the day, it's still like you can just spray at them forever with it still, so still not terrible. Oh hey buddy, I see you're in the... Ow! Okay. On the other side of that door. Jackals are pretty good at mowing down Flood with their little machine gun plasma pistol shots. I'm just gonna walk over here. Oh god, please no. Take a that! Wow, someone didn't kill anything. So I guess I should talk about the Flood, huh? So, okay, well, in this level, there's only like two, like, right now, I guess I'll talk about them as we come across them. So right now, there's just these are human combat forms, or, sorry, elite combat forms. Wow, I think I just technically spoiled that, but it doesn't really matter. Hey, would you stop shooting me? You guys are jerks. Freaking aliens are trying to eat your brains, and you're just like, shoot that dude in the green suit. Frick. Those jerks. Oh, out of range. But not this one. Aha! Plasma Pistol's really good at dealing with jackals. Like, just overcharge their shields and it's just like, whatever. Oh, hey, there's a dude here. Is this dude's body supposed to be here? I don't know, because, like, everything's breaking, and I don't know why. I don't understand why both the starting cutscene and that cutscene were completely broken. I've never seen that before. Like, these map files are slightly edited, but literally the only thing I've edited on them is that the FOV is bigger. So I don't... Like, maybe that breaks it, but that just seems weird that would break it like that. Anyways, I guess I'll show this off. This is something that a lot of people probably don't see on their first playthrough, because, like, when you see the jackals and stuff at that door, it's like, you just think, well, you know, that's the way to go. But, like, if you go the other way, there's, like, this room here that just has couple of dudes in it, like, pretty small amount of enemies, all things considered. Ah! And you walk over here, and it's like, oh, it's an elevator. Huh. So you walk all the way around, stop doing that. I'll talk about this right now. I really like how in this game the Flood infection forms appear as like they aren't full-size dots, but like when they bunch up they do. So, oh, I just realized you can actually see this early. So like when they're like all bunched up, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between them and like an actual enemy. So even though they're fairly non-threatening for the most part, it's like they can still like spook you out when you don't know they're there. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a funny thing, is that you can actually see ahead of time that it's like broken up there, and when you press the button, the elevator breaks, so you can't go up. And the music even starts playing. Just kind of a cool little detail. It's one of those things that it's like, I'm sure lots of people have seen it on their first playthrough, but I'm sure a lot of people haven't. And it's like, it's kind of one of those things that it's like, if you don't explore that much, you know, you might not see it actually. Anyways, I guess I started talking about the combat forms and I just completely blanked on and stopped talking about them again. So, elite combat forms, they're big like elites, they're kind of spongy like elites. Although not nearly as spongy because they don't have shields or anything. But Flood do take fairly different amounts of damage from different weapons. So like, generally speaking, you want to use either like plasma or like a pistol is good at dealing with them, or like a shotgun. We haven't seen a shotgun yet, but we will see them later. And otherwise, yeah, they're big, they're spongy, they run up to you, and they have those, because they have those whips as like their melee attack, their melee range is actually quite large. So they can hit you from fairly far away with their melee attacks. And also because they're literally spongy in the sense that if you try to beat them down, it takes forever. They take almost no damage from melee attacks, which is supposed to like reinforce the idea that they're basically masters of close range and want to avoid getting close to them as much as you can. And as soon as you go down this elevator, oh, look at that. What's that? What's he holding in his hand? So as soon as you get like more than like 5 minutes to level, the flood go from just being kind of zombie dudes to zombies that hold guns. And this is when you start having to deal with human weaponry, which you haven't had to deal with so far, which is pretty interesting because unless you're going around killing all your marines all the time, you don't really have to worry about that. And also, look, human combat forms. That's cool. I forget if in this game human combat forms have less health. I think in this game, they have a little bit less health than the elite combat forms, but ow! I just bit my lip in the same spot that I already bit it earlier, even though I'm fucking talking and not eating. I hate everything. God, the only thing worse than biting your mouth in a spot is biting it twice in the same spot. And when you do, it swells up, so it becomes all that much easier to do it. I can't believe I did that. And like, I'm not even eating. I just bit myself because I'm just such a blabbermouth that I managed to sink my teeth into my freaking gums. God. Ugh, whatever. So yeah, human zombies with guns, you know, that's fun. So, in terms of the differences between human and elite combat forms, there isn't really that much of a difference. Pretty much the biggest thing is that, oh hey, look. Wait. Where are the Marines? Aren't there supposed to be Marines here? I think they got killed in like the doorway. What the hell? That's weird. That's not supposed to happen. But that, on the other hand, is very nice to do. Since they like to gather up on the spot like that, you can kind of just wait for them to come underneath you and throw a grenade down there. It's possible to get across this light bridge. This light bridge is actually really cool because it like goes on and off at like different levels of transparency and different amounts of time. If you're lucky and like a good jumper, you can actually make it across this. You're not supposed to, but like if you do, it actually skips a fair bit of the level. You can also just jump on the sides of these things right here, which I tried to do earlier, but I failed at it. By the way, in case you're wondering, the assault rifle, you might... I don't know why they did this, but the assault rifle actually deals reduced damage against the flood. It doesn't deal that much less. I think it's like 85% of normal damage. But I always thought it's like the assault rifle already sucks, and then this new enemy comes in and they made the assault rifle even worse. I think it's just funny that they do that. I'm not going to bother skipping, though. I'm going to try to do this jump, because why not? Close. That's actually probably one of my better attempts, given I just not only had to jump once. And you can see these doorways are broken. There was supposed to be a moment there when actual like Marines would come running out, and like they'd have like shotguns and stuff you could pick up and stuff, but you basically just watch them get destroyed by the flood. But for some reason they didn't actually run out. I don't know why. I think what happened is they were supposed to, but for some reason, like they all got like it looked like they all got stuck in like doorway or something. That was weird. But yeah, you can see I'm already on the other side. You really don't skip that much. Yeah, they're all up here. It's weird. It's like they all got stuck. There's supposed to be one with a shotgun, but I don't know where it is. Who knows? The thing with this level that's kind of interesting is that if you play on easy, you get a shotgun like at the start of the level. And then I think if it's normal heroic, you get one at that weird electric room we saw earlier. But if you're on legendary, you don't actually get a shotgun until like the end of the level. Which is kind of an interesting way how like difficulty in this game isn't just numbers, like I keep pointing out. It's pretty cool, I think. Like the actual spawns are different. Ah! Ow! Oh my god, there's so many dudes up here. Get out of here. Oof. Oh, you have to jump down too. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Okay, where is this guy? I keep losing my train of thought. So yeah, difference between human and elite combat forms is that the elite ones are, I believe, a little bit, like, they do a little bit more, they take a little bit more damage. I think all of their melee attacks are exactly the same though, and other than that, the main thing is that human ones will actually drop frag grenades, which is cool, because once again, it's like our first chance to really get, like, those kind of drops. Normally it's like you're not killing Marines, right? So you're not going to get human weapons. Which is kind of an interesting interaction in the Halo series, because unlike in a lot of other FPS games, you're not killing humans. So even though there's like an entire set of human weapons, you don't get human weapons ever from just like killing stuff. Is that a grenade? No, it's just bits. That's kind of one of the annoying things about Flood, is that they drop these chunky skin bits that look kind of like frag grenades at first glance, but they aren't. So it's like you just look like an idiot. Like you're just like, why can't I pick up this frag grenade? And it's like you're trying to pick up like decaying skin. Just makes you look crazy. There's a dude up there. There is. And yeah, the human combat forms are, because they're a little smaller, they tend to actually be a little harder to kill, because they have kind of like an awkward shape to them, so it's kind of hard to hit them sometimes, depending on the circumstance. You'd be surprised. Alright, they're about to come running in here, I bet. Ah, what the bip? He tricked me! Yeah, if you haven't noticed, they can revive themselves. You can kind of tell which ones will revive themselves, because the ones that will revive themselves take less hits to kill. So like, I bet you this one's gonna revive. Yep. You can see, like, the ones that die quicker than the other ones usually are the ones that will revive. What's kind of interesting is, and something I didn't actually realize until not too long ago, is that they can actually revive multiple times. It's pretty rare, and I think it's only certain ones can do that. But it can happen. I've seen it happen a couple of times. A big thing is that in this level, there's actually ones that will respawn infinitely, which is kind of funny. It's the ones that do are I don't know why I'm hiccuping. The ones that respawn infinitely are the ones on the outside of the level, like the ones that are like at the start of the level, you have like those random yellow dots around. Those are just random flood forms. Oh, nice. Here we go. Now we have a shotgun. This is like the best gun in the game. Halo 1 shotgun is like one of the best shotguns in all of gaming. Like, this shotgun is so, like, let me put it this way. If you have a shotgun, there is zero reason to ever pick up any like an assault rifle or a plasma rifle. Like, never even bother picking up those guns again. The assault rifle is or the shotgun is better than them in like every single possible way. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. Jeez. Like, not only is the shotgun incredibly powerful, but it has really good range for a shotgun in a video game. Like, it's not Doom levels of range, but you can see, like, those guys are fairly far away, and I'm like 1 to 2 hitting them. So you can see that it's pretty good. Like, Doom shotgun is like obviously nothing really beats Doom shotgun, but I don't think that's quite the same thing, because Doom shotgun is good, Doom shotgun is what it is because there isn't really a traditional gun in Doom, right? You don't have like an assault rifle in Doom. You just have like the only gun that's like weak, like generally, how do I even put this? I can't think of the right words, but you know what I mean. It's like you don't have a traditional, just standard assault rifle gun in Doom. Like, you have a pistol, which honestly the pistol sucks in Doom. It's pretty much just meant to be a gun you use until you find other stuff. And then like the other guns in Doom are like chain gun, the super shotgun, rocket launcher, like rail gun, energy gun, stuff like that, you know. Like, Doom doesn't have like just a traditional like assault rifle, which is why the shotgun pretty much fulfills that role. But in this game, you do have like, you know, you have a good pistol, you have an assault rifle, you have stuff like that. But the shotgun is just so good in this game that you don't really even need those guns, which is kind of funny. Anyways, let's blow these bodies up. I believe that whenever you kill Flood with grenades, they won't, even the ones that would normally get back up will never actually get back up. So that's like a good tip. If you want to be absolutely sure, you can just blast them and they'll never get back up. Other than that, what was I thinking of? I guess I haven't talked about the infection forms. Look at that guy fall. So the infection forms, when they're basically just the dudes that walk around. If you have shields, they're pretty much harmless. They do a tiny amount of damage, and I guess when they do that, your shields will stop recharging, and you'll have to wait a little bit. But if you have shields, they're more or less harmless. The big thing is if you don't have shields, they'll latch onto you and start doing like a lot of damage. And once they're latched on, the only way to really get them off you is to move around. Like, you'll find out if you've ever played, you'll know that like pretty much if a flood infection form jumps onto something, like that thing is dead. Like you'll see that especially here.
Sir, thank God you're here. We've been lost out here for hours. After we lost contact with the rest of the mission, we headed for the RV point, and then these things, they ambushed us. We gotta get out of here.
These are probably the best Marines in the game because you've got a bunch of the... Like you can see, like this Marine's like he looks pretty similar. Remember those Marines from Truth and Reconciliation? These Marines are pretty much the same thing. The ones with the shotguns will blast like pretty much like full auto, and they'll actually do a lot of damage. So if you want to keep these guys alive, which you don't really have to, because it's not like there's nothing too particularly threatening out here. Although we do get some sweet music. Good old gun pointed at the head of the units. But yeah, like the Marines here are very powerful.
Let's do it. Let me get that for you.
Huh? Oh, like you just look at that. Like they have like almost perfect accuracy. They'll blast from like long range. Like these are pretty much the best Marines in the game, and it's really cool. I mean, it's like keep in mind that this is the last time you actually get to see Marines in this game, so it's cool that we actually get to go out with a bang. The big thing you want to watch out in these sections is not the normal size flood. You want to watch out for is the infection forms, which we haven't seen any yet, but I think once we cross a little line here, we will see some infection forms. But yeah, you can see like compared to normal Marines, these Marines fire from pretty far away, and they're even the assault rifle Marines fire in like actual like assault rifle bursts. Like it's not just like pew 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 like the normal Marines do, where they fire like one bullet at a time. So yeah, right here it's like a bunch of flood will drop down. You really want to take out these infection forms. Ah! It's hard to though, cause like the Marines like they just kind of run off and die. Like you can see they're already all dead, and it kind of sucks. Because, like, that section where they drop all the infection forms off, it's like they pretty much expect them all to die right there. It sucks. If you're on a lower difficulty, it's a lot easier, though. Because, like, they can, well, actually, I don't know. I guess in regards to the actual infection forms, it's actually probably easier on higher difficulties. Because on lower difficulties, your Marines will be less accurate and won't be quite as aggressive. So yeah, unfortunately, that's the last time we'll ever get to see Marines. And since we're on Legendary, they didn't get it. They kind of got wrecked there. Probably because, like, it's one of the few times when it's like, an assault rifle is actually useful against the infection forms, because you can just go full auto on them. Oh well. Oof. That's a spore. I'm trying to shoot that like an infection form, but that's not an infection form at all. What's wrong with me? I don't know. It looked like so much like an infection form. Because, I mean, I guess they're kind of supposed to look like them. Like, think about a shotgun that can, like, look how far away I'm shooting these guys and killing them. And, like, it does that, and it has 12 shots in it before you have to reload. And you'll hold 60 ammo plus those 12 shots. And it reloads, like, super quick. Like, it's like... And you can fire while reloading. Like, it is such a good gun in this game. Like, I hear people, like, whenever you hear people talk about guns in this game, it's always like, okay, the pistol's, you know, oh, the pistol's super broken. And it's like, once again, that's true for campaign, or for multiplayer, but for campaign, it's like, the shotgun is so good. It is, like, indescribable how good it is. It is such an insanely good gun. Blast pistol is also good too. That's really underrated, I think, in Halo 1. Like, really, this is just one of the few Halo games where I just feel like almost every weapon is just so good. Like, they're all powerful, but it doesn't feel like they're so strong that it's like nothing's a challenge, you know what I mean? By the way, this is another one of those difficulty things. If you're on easy, you start with a shotgun, but otherwise you get an assault rifle. So once again, like, on easy, you get to start off with that super awesome assault rifle shotgun thingy gun. Anyways. You can see this assault rifle is actually pretty good at dealing with infection wounds. It's actually better to go into burst. Like, don't just full auto, because then they kind of like... like, the assault rifle has a lot of spread if you're like just firing full auto, but if you do little bursts, it's actually pretty accurate. I mean, relatively speaking. The thing with Halo 1, and this is probably the biggest thing with this game, is that there's not really any super accurate like gun other than the sniper rifle in this game. Like, in future Halo games, there's always like that super accurate utility weapon like the BR or the DMR. But like in this game, like the closest thing is like the pistol, and even then, all things considered, the pistol really is not accurate. Ah, that's a shotgun. Stop shooting me with your shotgun. Oof. Ugh! Yeah, this level starts off actually pretty tough. You don't want to be careful. Alright, can we maybe... Like, it was a shotgun, but I blew up that, in fact, the carrier for him. Now the shotgun's probably like... Who knows? It's like in Kansas somewhere. Oh, there it is. Lucky me. A lot of the times it'll like blast off the map, and then you're just kind of stuck without a gun for a while. So yeah, this level introduces those carrier forms. Carrier forms are like, let me... Oh, I don't know why I'm hiccuping. You know what I'm drinking right now? I'm drinking Coke Zero, and it's like, come on. Like, I'm belching, and like, oh, like I'm getting like these like unstoppable belches from like a drink that doesn't even have any sugar or like anything in it. But I guess all that matters is the carbonate. Holy shit! Stop shooting me! I took one step around the corner, almost all my shields were gone. Can I get my shields back? Like, look how good the range on this thing is. Like, this is a shotgun. And this is a game where it's not like I said, like, it's supposed to be a shotgun, but it's like, God. Like, what a fun shotgun to use. Kind of the interesting thing about this game, by the way, I think I say it like almost every time I start a conversation, but it's true. There's lots of cool little things in this game. So, the damage values of all the guns are carried over to multiplayer. So I'm pretty sure all the guns are exactly the same. The reason why you've got things like a lot of the guns being differently effective in multiplayer is because all the weapons have different multipliers based on which enemy they're hurting. And in the case of Master Chief, he has his own damage values too. So like, he has damage values both for his shields and for his health, different from other enemies in the game. So like, that's why, for example, the plasma pistol doesn't do that much damage to Master Chief's shields, but it does a lot of damage to his health. Whereas when you're using the plasma pistol, this is why it's so good in campaign, because the plasma pistol just has like big damage multipliers for like pretty much every enemy, even like elite shields and stuff. Like, it just does a lot of damage. But yeah, I guess like once again I kind of start talking about the carry forms and stop. So carry forms are like a really fun enemy to like fight. Basically, they're like walking bombs, as it were. You shoot them and then they blow up, or they'll walk up to you and blow up themselves, like as you can see right here. And when they do that, they do enough damage to pretty much kill anything that they blow up. Like, they won't kill everything, but in terms of like the actual like flood forms, like everything that's in the explosion dies. And it's a really cool thing because it's like, it lets you like, they basically are like something that you can use against big groups of flood. Because otherwise, it's like sometimes it can be really hard to deal with big groups of flood if you don't have like a shotgun. Like it pretty much like if you don't have a shotgun throughout flood levels, it can be a lot pretty tricky. Like you pretty much always want a shotgun because it's just such a good weapon against the flood. Like each individual flood isn't too tanky, but like when there's like 20 of them, you know, it's like they can take a beating. Pew, pew, pew. And this is also kind of a theme of the flood. They respawn for quite a while sometimes. Although contrary to popular belief, there are, as far as I know, there's only one time in the whole game when there is an actual infinite flood spawn. Other than that, all spawns are limited in the sense that they will eventually end. And that's actually a kind of like that's directly reinforced by the code, because you can actually look up certain like enemy spawns and you'll see that they're set to spawn a certain amount of times based on certain factors. And some of them have pretty huge numbers to respawn, but most of them don't have that big of numbers. And like, it's true that like you deal with them a little bit and then they stop spawning. And so it's like, and I think it creates this interesting dynamic where it's like you basically have two choices when you get to a group of flood. You can either choose to take your time and slowly kill every flood. That's like, it's slow, but it's safe because you can just kind of keep your back to the wall, not have to worry. Or you can be aggressive and just kind of run by, which is significantly faster, but you have to worry about having a lot of flood behind you, ready to like mess you up. And it can result in you being overwhelmed if you're not careful. Pretty much it's a case of, this is why you want the shotgun. Like, that's what I'll put. Oh, so can I just say, this reload animation of the shotgun right here? Like, it's so sick. You only see that if you, like, use all 12 shots and then don't fire a single shot. So, you don't usually see that very often. Oh, right, you're supposed to go up to the door. I always forget that sometimes. Except never, I just wasn't paying attention to it.
I will go access the override to open them.
This is also kind of a theme of this level. There's these doors, and when you get to them, Guilty Spark's like, I'm gonna go open it. And he flies away, and then, except for this first door, there's usually like a bunch of flood will come. So it's a lot of defense in this level. It's a very interesting dynamic with the flood. That pretty much the way they work is that basically the purpose and the reason why they're so good in close quarters and stuff and all, and like they don't take much damage from melee attacks and stuff, the purpose of this all is to basically create an enemy that reverses the roles that the player usually has. So when you're fighting like the Covenant, it's like the Covenant don't tend to move very much from where they are, so it tends to be that they're on the defense and you're on the offense most of the time. But in the case of the Flood don't really have a lot of limitations on where they can go. Like, pretty much any flood will follow you anywhere throughout the entire level, no matter what. And because they're so powerful in close range, it creates this dynamic where they're the ones on the offense constantly, and you're the one on the run trying to avoid getting killed by them. And you can really see that here.
Produces spores that can pass the flood to others.
Oh god. That's a lot of flood. What the hell? I wasn't expecting that, man. I'm gonna die. Yep. I don't know what happened there. I don't think that's supposed to be that many flood. There was like 20 of them. What happened? Oh well, not a big deal. This level's actually, well, I shouldn't say it's generous with checkpoints, but it's like, checkpoints are pretty predictable because this level is kind of, like, in terms of how it's actually, like, laid out, it's actually pretty formulaic. It's just a bunch of, like, this is the kind of, the start of where people are like, oh, all the levels just look the same. And definitely this level does, but it's definitely completely on purpose. Like, this level just constantly, like, in like a normal playthrough, I saw the carrier form blow up and I knew I was dead. Like, before I even saw any of the grenades blow up. It's like, I saw them on the ground. But you can see, like, I already got a checkpoint. Like, it's pretty generous.
What was the console supposed to be? Mutated host. Introducing support that can pass the flood to others.
Okay, calm down there, buddy. Ah! The assault rifle ones are some of the worst floods, ironically, because, like, the assault rifle actually does pretty good damage against Master Chief, like, both his shields and health. And, like, sometimes the flood with assault rifles, like, sometimes they just spray all their shots into the ground. And other times it's like, they have, like, you know, they're like crack shots, they just don't miss you. It's because you can see, the way the flood work is they tend to just kind of, like, they'll pick a spot and then they'll just kind of spray into that spot. Like, you can see really clear with that dude with the plasma pistol, he just kind of sprayed into the same direction. So as soon as you move away from it, it won't really hit you very well. You can see what I mean about being on the defense. Like, I was at the end of the hallway and I'm all the way back here already, just trying not to die. What's kind of cool about the infection forms, you can kind of see, like, when you, like, hit them, like, when they pop, they'll create, like, chain reactions where it'll pop other infection forms, which I always thought was a really cool thing in this game. Then nice checkpoint. Like, you can see what I mean. Like, I got a checkpoint and I didn't even make progress. I actually went backwards throughout the level and got a checkpoint. Oof. Alright, please. Whoop. Nice. Actually, that grenade wasn't too bad. Although, the funny thing is, the monitor got mad because my grenade blew up next to him. Well, I'm almost out of ammo. Holy shit. I don't know, maybe I should start being a little more conservative. Jeez. Well, I guess I'll pick this up. Cool thing about the Flood 2, I haven't mentioned this yet, but, like, they're surprisingly dynamic enemies in that. So you can see, like, they have the two arms. Like, the one arm has the whips that's really long, and then the other arm is where they'll hold their gun. The cool thing is that you can actually shoot their arms off, if you haven't noticed that yet. And when you do that, it actually, like, changes the way they'll approach you. So if you shoot their gun off, what the hell did I just say? If you shoot their gun arm off, they can't shoot. They'll drop their gun and they can't shoot you anymore. And if you shoot their whip arm off, they can't melee attack you anymore. So it's pretty cool how it's like generally, like, if you're using like a normal gun, you don't really. It's kind of hard to do it. But if you're using the pistol, it's actually really easy. I think it's like one shot will blow off their arms usually. Like, let's see, like, pew. Oh, I actually got more ammo. That's good. Perfect. That's all I need. And kind of an interesting detail about that is that when you, really? Wait. Is something broken? Nothing. Okay, if I walk over here, enemies are gonna spawn, right? Yeah, okay. I was concerned there for a sec, because, like, nothing was spawning. That's weird. Well, I don't know. It's weird because it's kind of hard to tell. Because, like, the enemies came out there last time, but they didn't this time. And I don't think there's randomness. I think it's just that the monitor is kind of weird right now. Sometimes the monitor can be a little weird. You'll, like, skip past, like, trigger zones by accident, and he'll just, like, not really move. I don't think it's usually a problem for the most part, but sometimes, like, he'll skip spawns. And sometimes, rarely, you'll skip a trigger zone that's, like, really important, and you can't actually progress until you hit that trigger zone. Although, from experience, I can tell that that's really rare that happens. Like, it'd be surprising if that happened on this playthrough, basically. It's the kind of thing that happens when you play through the game, like, 1,000 times, right? That guy might respawn... No. Good. Ooh, overshield. I'll take that. Boom. Whew. What was I talking about last time? Nothing really. Just kind of going through the level. I guess I mentioned. Oh, well, there you go. Maybe that wasn't. Maybe that was supposed to happen. Also, can you stop shooting me, freaking jerks? Stop shooting me with a shotgun. Holy shit! Don't blow my guns away! No! Where's my guns? This sucks. I actually almost forgot I had a flashlight there. Like, I clicked the flashlight button, but for some reason I didn't think I was gonna actually activate the flashlight. And I guess that's partially because for some reason Halo 1's really the only game to have like a dedicated like flashlight like this. Like Halo 2 and 3 have flashlights, but they're like very limited. They only turn on like in certain areas, otherwise they like turn off right away. And they don't have like a flashlight bar like this. Like the Halo 1 flashlight can last for quite a while before it has to recharge. Whereas in Halo 2 onward, it's like if there is a flashlight, it's like it probably isn't like gonna last very long outside of like dark areas. I always thought that was really weird how like they put all this work. I guess it makes sense if you think of it, because this is the game that's like the Flood are like this huge deal. Like, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on video, but I've always wanted to, and just because like to me it's like the Flood is like this fascinating like thing that's just like a good example of how stuff like this in gaming cannot really happen anymore. Like, can you imagine a big game franchise like Halo and it's like managing to keep the secret of the Flood until like the release of the game and people actually get to the level? Like, this would never happen anymore. Like, there'd be like somebody would like do a leak or something something would happen and it wouldn't be a surprise anymore. But like, can you imagine? I think I already mentioned this, but can you just imagine how people reacted to playing through this game and just running into the Flood like this? Like, this is crazy, you know? Like, this will never happen again. Like, the only other thing I can think of that Halo did is in the future game, in Halo 2 with the Arbiter, which they did the exact same thing. But the Arbiter reveal to me was never like quite as big of a thing, because it's like it's not quite as big of a bam moment, because it's like you see all those cutscenes with the Arbiter before you even get to play as him, and it's like, well, they wouldn't show you all those cutscenes of the Arbiter if he wasn't going to be an important character, right? Like, it definitely was like a whoa moment, but it's not like the Flood, I don't think. Not even close. The Flood is like this moment when it's just the kind of thing, because there's so much like internet access and crap now, it's like the Flood just can't really happen in the same venue as it could in the old days. And I don't think that's like necessarily like, that's just the way it goes, you know, that's just how it is nowadays. You just can't. It's kind of how in the same venue how like we've got all these genres of games now, and you can't really make a new genre anymore. Like, I'm sure you could if you tried, but it's just like, I guess it kind of raises it's the same concept as how doing something like, just as a random example, really kind of relate to Bungie, how Bill Gates like dropped out of like Harvard College and like started his own company and like became like a freaking like multi-billionaire. But it's like, I don't think someone could really do that realistically these days anymore. Like, it's just not feasible. Like, he did it because of a number of factors, not including the fact, like, including the fact that he was, you know, he was already like super smart, and like, it's kind of one of those stories you hear that like people always like skew it in such a way that it's like, oh, I can just drop out of high school and I'll be a millionaire. But it's like, he dropped out of I forget what the term is. That's one of those things I always don't know. Like, it's different where you go, whether university and college are the same things or not. But anyway, he dropped out of like Harvard for one thing, I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know the story that well, but I mean, you know, you get the point. Like, he dropped out of Harvard,
I must reset the backup unit. Please continue on.
started like a business with his like, because, you know, like the computer industry wasn't exactly big at the time. I'm blanking now. I can't remember the story, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, you can't do something like you could anymore, because like there's already so much of a market for like, and like business models for everything now, that it's like doing something like that and making a ton of money off it is just extremely difficult now. It's sort of like how in the same venue of how Halo, like, I see these numbers brought up a lot, how, like, Halo has been declining a lot, especially, like, Halo 4 declined a lot, and while there's definitely a large factor of that in the sense that Halo 4 and 5 are kind of really unfocused compared to the older Halo games, but it's also just a factor in that, like, think about how many FPS games are in the market these days. It's like, there's an absolute metric ton of them. Like, there's literally probably over 1,000 FPS games out right now. Whereas even just back in the days of like Halo 2 and 3, it's like Halo 3 I think at some point was like the highest, like the most played game on Xbox Live. It was like in the running with Modern Warfare and stuff. And it's like, even though Halo isn't that anymore, it's like that's not really all 343's fault, because it's like you just can't get those numbers anymore with one game. It's just not gonna happen. There's too many. The market is too saturated, basically, is the best way to put it. There's too many games. And there's lots of good games that people want to play. Not to mention there's probably lots of people that still, like, just sit there and play Halo 3 and Reach. Well, there's not that many, but, like, there's still a bit of a market. Like, even after MCC came out, even after MCC got improved and improved and improved, you can go on Halo 3 and there are still people playing. Hell, I'm recording this from Halo PC, and there's still people playing multiplayer online Halo PC and Halo Custom Edition. Like, a decent amount of people, like over 100, constantly at least. And like, those numbers aren't super high, but it's like, it's still there. Whoa, a lot of dudes died. That's weird. And like, there's definitely still people, like, at least like usually whenever I've played Halo 3 a bit, online multiplayer, like, because like the thing with MCC is that it lacks a lot of the custom playlists that Halo 3 does, and even like once Reach comes out, that'll probably happen with Reach too, which is kind of disappointing. Like, Halo 3 Action Sack is insane. Like, there's a bunch of stuff in Halo 3 Action Sack that was like, it really felt like Action Sack, and that was like a big thing for me that disappointed me for a long time with like Halo 4 and 5, is that it's like think about how Halo 3 presented itself and how fun it was. Like, in Halo 3, Team Slayer, when you play Social Slayer, Team Rockets is in there. Like, just Team Rockets is in there. Whereas, like, Halo 4 and 5, and even MCC, Team Rockets is an action sack. And it's just, like, it's that difference in how the games, both in how the games interpret themselves and how they present themselves. Like, it felt like 343 took themselves too seriously, but, like, and funny enough, when it felt like when they didn't take themselves seriously, it was always at like a bad time. Like, it felt like, I think that's like the biggest weakness that 343 had throughout all like their Halo games, is it felt like they just didn't quite have the knack for like timing of like. Now I'm saying that out loud, and it makes me sound like a crazy person and a person who has no idea what I'm talking about. And now that I've said it, I don't entirely understand what I meant when I even thought it. My brain's weird like that. Oh well. But it's very true of just like, isn't there a rocket guy here? I always forget what the, yeah, there he is. Oh boy, he shot the ground though, because he sucks. Look at all those flood though. Like, see what I mean? Like, look at this huge group of flood. Like, goddamn. Calm down. I love the little whip, like the way they just like sometimes Flood will just like charge or something, and they'll just flail their arms like crazy. Like, they almost look like they're being goofy on purpose, if you know what I mean. I wonder where the rocket is. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Should I pick up this rocket? Sure, why not? Let's use the infinite ammo glitch to get some extra rockets too. That didn't work. Shit. But yeah, like, that's all I'm saying, is that it's like the market is just very saturated. So it's like 343 will probably never ever even get close to matching the same numbers that Halo 3 did, and that's just how it is. It's not their fault. It's like they can only do so much. Like, if you've ever, like, I don't know how much I actually say this out loud, but I can be pretty harsh on 343, but it's not because I hate 343, it's not because I think they suck. It's pretty much the opposite. It's because I want them to be. Like, do you think I want them to make bad games? No. And I don't think they've made any bad games. I think they've made games that are very flawed and have a lot of problems, but at the heart of the games, they're still good games. It's just, I'm a very picky person, if you don't know. And at the end of the day, I think part of 343's problem is they never, like, it felt, I guess I keep saying this, but this one is definitely true. I think the big problem with 343 is that we're very much like, it felt like they were trying too hard to not be like Bungie. Like, when they made Halo 4, it's like, so many things changed from Halo Reach because it felt like the reason why it changed was because they just didn't want it to be like Bungie's game. Like, the UI in Halo 4 sucks, even though the UI in Halo Reach is like pretty much perfect. It's like one of the best UIs in any video game I've ever seen. Because it's like, I guess 343 just didn't want it to be like Reach's UI. So they changed it a bunch, and then it's like Halo 4 has all these random things that are just different from Halo Reach. Even though Halo 4 in a lot of ways is just Halo Reach 0.5. Because there's so many things that are pretty much just the exact same in Reach. Like, all the AI is taken straight from Reach, basically. Like, you can really tell because they all do like the same animation stuff. They all do have very, very similar like habits, other than just like their attack accuracies and stuff. Like the numbers, basically, the only thing that's really different. And it's like, I think Bungie's made a bunch of perfect games. Like, I actually think like the Halo Reach campaign story is really good, but I think the actual gameplay of it suffers from a lot of the same problems that Reach does, but in the opposite direction. Where, ow, wow, I got destroyed there. Where am I? Oh no, no checkpoint. In Halo 2, it feels like the big problem with the hard difficulty is that you die too fast. Whereas in Halo Reach, like, it's not, I mean, you do die really fast in Reach still on higher difficulties, but it feels like more of the problem in Reach is that enemies just take too long to kill on higher difficulties. Like the fact is that there's a Spartan laser in the game, and you can shoot lasers at elites on higher difficulties and they won't die. And I always felt that's stupid, because it's like the laser is supposed to be like this super weapon that like obliterates, like it'll destroy a tank in like 1 to 2 shots, but like elites will just straight up like not die from lasers on higher difficulties. It's kind of silly. But yeah. I think I'm gonna have stuff to talk about for the most part, so I guess I'll keep thinking about stuff. I think I ended up ranting there a lot longer than I thought I was going to. I just kept talking, didn't I? And then I'm ruining the whole like bounce factor of the video by just being like, oh man, wasn't I great at talking? Yuck. But you know how it is. That's who I am. Alright, okay, not the needlers, not the needlers, not the needlers. Ow. Stop being a crack shot. Oof. Are you kidding me? Can we stop my shields, you jerks? No! Drop the real rockets. There we go. I think the thing with the rockets is that the reload actually takes a lot longer than you think it would. That's the best way I can put it. Kaboom. There we go. Because like the ammo of it actually doesn't get refilled till you're holding the rocket like still for like half a second. Which compared to other Halo games, it's like most of the weapons in future Halo games can actually be cheesed because they'll actually reload the ammo like halfway through the animation, so you can just switch guns to make it faster. Well, it doesn't work very often in this game. Isn't this like the long, yeah, it's the big hallway. Ah, I knew that was gonna happen. That always happens there. You don't get killed because the rocket hits you. You get killed because there's one stupid infection form who has to shove his stupid fat popcorn body, and he gets hit by the rocket, and because the infection forms are solid, he'll get hit by the rocket and you die from the rocket blowing up in the damn infection form. They're such jerks. Consarn it. Ugh. And then you get into this hallway. What the? See what I mean? Like, jeez, man. Like I said, they don't respawn forever, but sometimes they just do respawn for a very, very long time, and then some dude with an ebow walks out and your shields stop recharging again. Probably the hardest part of the hang back strategy is that sometimes you get these groups of flood that don't spawn with shotguns, and because they are the same groups just respawning forever, like it's not like they're just gonna suddenly have a shotgun. So like you pretty much just waste a lot of ammo if they aren't using the right gun. Can you stop? I don't even get a chance to use the rocket I picked up because they keep running up to me. Freaking jerks. Oh, there's the frag grenade. Okay, can you not respawn this time? I guess the answer to that question is no. Oof. A big thing with the infection forms, I totally forgot that they did this too, but you can hear that they were making the infection forms make the same sound as the normal flood do, which is probably the bigger thing than just their radar size. So when there's even one little infection form walking around, you can hear the sound that they make, and it makes it like it definitely adds to the whole effect that they have, where it can be kind of hard to tell what flood are like what, because they all make the same sound. So without directly seeing them, it can be hard to tell which ones are like doing which sounds. Oof. Okay, this time the flood died right away. And yeah, I guess I didn't even like really register it when that happened. But yeah, rocket flood. Rocket flood are kind of a big deal. They aren't too common. You only see like this one. I think there's one more in the level. And you see like a bunch more in like one level in the future. But other than that, like they're only in like a couple of small sections. But they're definitely very like if there's any enemy that can be kind of annoying, it's definitely them, because it's like sometimes they'll just perfectly hit you like all the other flood, and sometimes they'll just shoot the ground and kill themselves. That can be kind of annoying. By the way, this flood is kind of cool. Like, he's in this corner here, and in-game, he doesn't have any meaning. But, in the book, there's a book that's based on Halo 1, and, like, kind of some other stuff, but it's based on... It mentions that there's actually a Marine that goes through the library before Master Chief does, and this is actually supposed to be him, because he dies... Like, it's just an infection form that's already dead for some reason. And he has rockets and stuff, which I believe get mentioned. Something like that. I'm actually not too sure about that, but I know there's like an actual thing somewhere. Ow! We haven't actually seen any doors for a while, have we? Anyways, for this part, I'm going to go ahead and run like the Dickens. Because screw all those guys. Hey, it's an elevator. So I think there's 4 floors in this area. So we're basically about the halfway point of the level. I think it's a little more than that, because I think the level's a little bit front heavy. But I might be wrong about that. I don't actually remember totally. Library kind of blends together a lot, because, you know, it's kind of designed to do that. But I don't want to ride the elevator. I think I mentioned this earlier, but this level is pretty infamous among stuff in this game. You see a lot of people, like, this level's very polarizing, I guess is the best way to put it. There's a lot of people that will swear by you that this is like the worst level in any video game. Of course, I definitely don't think so. I think it's actually really underrated. Thank you, Sentinels. I feel like, for some reason, I always forget that there's actually not that many Sentinels in this level. Like, you'd think there would be, but there really isn't that many. And it's kind of a shame because this is the last level you get to see yellow dots, basically. You don't get any allies for the rest of the game after this level. So it's like, it'd be nice if they gave you a lot of Sentinels to like go out with a bang, but you know, whatever. Sentinels are still, it's pretty cool to have a unique ally for this level. This dude with the needler in this hallway is such a jerk because it's like you can't, unlike in, you know, outdoor areas, you can't really dodge the dude in like a little hallway like this, so kind of tricky to deal with. Anyways. Kaboom. Alright, please destroy yourselves on my big naked body. Gahaha. Sentinels are usually pretty good, although the big thing is that sometimes, yeah, like, the big thing with Sentinels that we won't see for a while because, like, obviously they're allies, so once again, we're not going out of our way to kill them, but Sentinels are very, very vulnerable to Covenant weaponry. Like, plasma and needles will just destroy them, but they're actually really, really resilient to human weaponry. So like a point-blank shotgun blast often won't kill a Sentinel, even though they, like, a point-blank shotgun will kill like pretty much everything in the game because the shotgun is stupidly strong in this game. The biggest, like, you can see, like, the biggest thing you have to worry about with Sentinels, or with carrier forms, isn't really the actual carrier forms, but usually you have to worry about if they're next to an explosive that'll just destroy you, because their explosion doesn't do that much damage, but it will set off any and all explosions in the area. Kaboom. Wah! Didn't see that one coming. Alright, let's go. I believe around the next bend there should be a big door again. We're at another door area. Yeah, there it is. The funny thing is, this actually wasn't the door I was originally thinking of, but still pretty valid. So this door, you pretty much just want to back way off, because they all kind of respawn around you, but if you're over here, they won't. They kind of just run around this corner. And it makes it pretty easy to deal with them. Oh, I have the hiccups, that's the worst! My body's so weird, I don't understand how I can get the hiccups like an hour or two after I've eaten. Oh, God, that hurts. Like, stop! Okay, fuck, that actually hurts so much. Okay, give me a sec here. Okay, down to my drink, and now I'm gonna hold my breath.
Naturally, the flood is simply too dangerous to release.
Ah, God. Yeah, rocket flood are fun. Like, did you see that guy? Can you imagine, like, I think you always get a checkpoint there, but it's like, because of that, whoever designed that particular spot just decided to be a huge asshole and just stick a flood rocket launcher, dude, right around a corner. So it's like 9 times out of 10 you walk on the corner and just immediately blow up because they come running out straight towards you. So it's like, you don't really lose any time because like you basically you have to walk for like another 5 seconds if you die there. But it's still, it's just like, what a dick, you know? Like, I got turbo lucky. Like, I shot, like, pretty much as soon as I saw him, and he still shot. The only reason I didn't die is because I got lucky and he missed me. Anyway, so normally there's these areas you can kind of walk around, and normally they let you skip, but for some reason in this one particular spot, if you try to walk on this area, there's actually, like, a spawn specifically for this area. That's kind of cool that, like, they actually, like, coded an extra spawn. Like, a lot of people probably don't see this spawn because they just go the normal path. And I think it's really weird because there's an area earlier in, like, the other door area that's in the outer area like this. You can do the exact same thing. Except that when you do, there's nothing, there's no spawn or anything. Like, that's just this area. It's weird. Ah, Jesus. Stop shooting! Or die at least. That would be fine, too. Thanks for the ammo, buddy. Where are they? Oh, like stuck on the corner. Ooh, more ammo. Thanks, buddy. Oof.
The installation was specifically built to stop
I don't even talk about the mod. I don't even think I don't actually like recognized or like what's the term? I actually completely forget the term. You know what I mean? It's like I haven't validated the monitor's existence at all. Like, I've just been walking on like he doesn't exist for the most part. I had mentioned him like once because he wasn't like following me. That's pretty much it. Like, I mentioned him purely because I thought he wasn't working. That's basically it. It's the only way you get me to talk about the monitor. Anyways, once again, we're just gonna run by because I don't care about life. Or maybe I do care about life and I'm gonna die now. Stop. I'm dead. Yep. See what I mean? Like you can run and gun, but especially on Legendary, it's extremely difficult. A lot of the times you just die. If you're not careful. Like, it's not impossible, but like a lot of the times it's just kind of like luck based because a lot of it comes down to whether the flood decides to just nail you or not. But I mean, that's kind of true of the whole game when it comes to speed running. Like when I was playing Assault on the Control Room in the last part, I was like getting mad and stuff, but it's like, or was it sound like photographer? I don't remember. I was getting mad, and it's like it's purely my fault because I'm trying to rush. And admittedly, I'm not great at that. I don't speedrun this game, so don't expect me to be good, right? Alright, that should be better. Whoa! Explosions. I'm just gonna keep running. Get to the door. This is the door I was thinking of. This door is pretty infamous. The funny thing is, there's actually a trick with this door. I'm not gonna show it off right away. But basically, this is on Legendary. The length of this depends on the difficulty, but on Legendary, this is 2 minutes and 30 seconds of just flood spawning in. And it's like the hardest part of the level on Legendary, definitely. The funny thing is, though, is that the flood aren't immediately alerted to your position, so you can actually hide in one of the corners for the entire time and just like never have to worry about the flood at all. What's kind of interesting is that even though you might not think it, this flood is like with all the other flood spawns, this one's limited too. There's only so many flood that'll spawn from this area. So there's actually a lot of people that like to do what's called a, I don't know what the actual term is, but it's basically a challenge where you try to kill all of the flood as fast as possible before the door opens. It's really tricky to do because, like, especially on Legendary, it's like it can be hard just to like survive, let alone kill them all, you know? Oops, I didn't mean to pick that up. Ugh! I'm gonna die. Come on, give me my shields! Holy crap, I did it. First try. Ah, no! Why did I open my fat mouth? The words popped up that I won and then I died. Well, I'm going to do the trick now because I might as well show this off. So yeah, you see this in like any speedrun that doesn't like... I don't think you see this in speedruns anymore because now they have a trick, I think, that lets you just completely skip the door. You can like flood bump through it if you know what you're doing. But like otherwise, it's like you can just sit here and wait. So I'm going to drink this delicious black drink of velvetness. Oof. Of course, you can have a little fun and toss grenades. Because the grenades will not alert the flood. Not in the traditional sense, anyways. Actually, is it 1 minute, 30 seconds? I forget. It's like 1 or 2 minutes and then 30 seconds. Well, I'm inclined to say 2 minutes because I feel like it's already been a minute. Okay, it's definitely 2.5 minutes. There's no way that was only a minute. Okay, help me out here, dudes. I can't believe I did it and died as like the door was opening. That's just like me. Sit there and be like, I won, and then I die. Like, good job, jackass.
Please stay close. Time is short.
Oof. Almost out of rocket ammo. Bit of a shame, but, you know. It's very interesting to deal with all these weapons. I think, anyways. Because it's like up to this point, you really only had to deal with plasma pistol, needler, and plasma rifle. But as soon as the flooding got introduced, now all of a sudden it's like you gotta deal with all your human weapons. Shotgun, assault rifle, pistol. Rarely a rocket to completely bone you. 4th floor, tools, guns, keys to super weapons. Alright, let's go. Last level, or last floor. I believe for the most part this floor is actually pretty easy. There's not too much in the way. Like, they do another gauntlet, but it's not nearly as hard as the one we just did. Although you can't cheese it quite as easily as the first one. But it's still pretty easy. He punched my grenade away. I was like, where'd my grenade go? Punched it away. Funny thing is, for some reason in Halo 3, when the Flood melee attack in the game, they can actually set off explosives. I don't know why they set it up like that, but that's just how it is. The way that it works is that's one of the flags you can set up with damage values. Basically, every damage value has a bunch of flags you can set. One of the flags will like make it so like it'll set off grenades. That's how grenades set off other grenades too. And you can basically make it so any sort of damage can basically set off a grenade. And for some reason in Halo 3, when Flood do their melee attacks, they have that flag set, so they'll blow up any grenades that are near them when they melee attack. Which is silly, because it basically means that like Flood will melee attack, and then everything will just blow up. It like makes them die. Hey! Don't you get back. Actually, wait, now that I think about it. This is as good a time as any to go back for the med kit. Your health goes yellow pretty quick. Like I'm at 5 of I think 7 bars or something, and it's already yellow. But better safe than sorry. It's not like I really want to walk all the way back over here, anyways. Oof. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the end here. I think this is like the last big thing we do before we get to the last room. Oh, right, you want to go down. A big reason why this room isn't as hard as the last one is because you go into one of these rooms, into it. And funny thing about that is that because of that, you can just come back into this room to hide if things get tough. Which makes the Flood have to like single file, like single line file thingy binging towards you. So what he can do actually is just run back into this room. I forget if this works actually. Maybe this doesn't. I think it does because even though you might not think it, these dudes can't actually alert. Forgot about that. I was wrong. Bungie wasn't an idiot. Ah, come on! That grenade insta-killed me. Why are you here? I'm gonna actually load my checkpoint. Because I want to see if this works. So yeah, if you throw a grenade into that doorway, you can just hide over here like the last room. And I'm gonna do that because why not? I'm playing the way I want to play, right? Not to mention I'm almost out of ammo, so... I mean, might as well take advantage of every trick. I mean, I think tricks like this are cool because they aren't glitches or anything. It's just taking advantage of the fact that enemies have to be alerted to you, right? Like, the game, I believe there are scripts for just, like, forcing enemies to be aware of you, but, like, they don't use them here, so take advantage of that, right? It's a cool little quirk of the game system. That's what I think, anyways. Right? No point crying over split eggs and ham. Where'd that shotgun go? I saw it fall down here. I think it's it making noise. Where is this? No! I wanted the shotgun, but now all the enemies are gonna come over here. Whatever. I can be sorry for, I guess, at least. Oh god! Oof. Alrighty. I'm getting really low on ammo. I may actually be screwed here if they don't start dropping good guns soon.
The Flood are already hard at work repairing your vessel. Its parasitic nature belies the Flood's intelligence.
I definitely want that. Oof, that is some nice ammo right. Oh yeah, baby. Any shotguns down here? Yep, thank you. I believe there's also some rockets over here. I'll take that. Because if you don't know, we're literally at the end of the level right here. This doorway, it's the end of the level. Down, 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 bow, Yeah, plasma rifle wasn't as effective as I remembered it being. But I think I'm just used to lower difficulties. Since as a kid, I pretty much only ever played on easy. I was such a weird Halo player as a kid. Like, I'm the kid who would play on easy and then never fire a single bullet from any shot because not having 100 ammo would like annoy me. Not having like all my ammo would just be like, I'd be so anal. I don't know why. That's just how I was as a kid. I kind of grew out of that. Like, pretty much as I grew up, I became less and less, like... I don't want to say OCD, because I know that people misuse that term all the time, and... I think it, like... You know what I mean? It's like one of those things that's, like... People use it to the point where people forget what it actually means to be OCD. Like, being anal about being, like, about cleanliness and shit is not OCD. Alright. I think that's about it for this level. Should we just be a straight run to the end of the level? Oh, more stuff. That's fine. Neither isn't too bad against the Flood because you can just go full auto, and because they don't like a dodge at all, it's really easy to hit them. On the other hand, you can really see against the Flood that Combines really don't do that much damage. Like, that Flood got Combine and then on Needler's weapon, it still didn't take all that much damage. Of course, Needlers give tons of ammo. Like, they're in the same venue as a Blast Pistol. Like, you kill one enemy for a Needler and they'll have, like, almost a full Needler every time. Alright, that's a good grenade. That signifies the end of the level, baby! Get on the walkway, don't kill me. Shotgun, throw some grenades. Woo! We in there. Now we get an unskippable cutscene, and this cutscene is unskippable for no reason.
Surrounding the index will deactivate when we reach the ground floor. You may now retrieve the index. Protocol requires that I take possession of the index for transport. Your organic form renders you vulnerable to infection. The index must not fall into the hands of the Flood before we reach the control room and activate the installation.
And just like that, we're done.
See
See you guys in the next part, where we'll be doing, like, the longest level in the game, basically. So, see you then.
Look out!